What's up, guys? Invader1 here again, and I'm back. Now, this time with the Collector Adept DOT weapons build. And I'll talk about that a little bit. Also, just first things first, guys, sorry that I've been away a little bit. I had a death in the family, and that took away a lot of my time. That was a little, I had an uncle who's actually quite famous and had to kind of take care of a few things there. And my job just threw a whole bunch of stuff on me. So, anyways, besides that, guys, so sorry it's been taking a little while for me to get this to you guys, but I think I wanted to come out with this video because a lot of you guys have been questioning how to use this guy, and there's a difference between a powers build and a weapons build, and this is going to be one of two builds that I'm going to post out there. This is a weapons DOT build, damage over time, and let's go over it. Alright, for the powers, I know you guys are thinking, man, Seeker Swarm, no Seeker Swarm, are you crazy? You get, good 40% damage reduction if you, spec it out right. That's great. We're going to talk about that later. We're going to create another build that you're going to use Seeker Swarms, but this is a DOT weapons build, and this is the way it's set up. Dark Sphere. Rank 4, you're going to want to go for damage. Alright, so detonate bigger and damage over time increases by 20%. Rank 5, again, damage over time, another 40%, and duration by 40%. And again, on rank 6, unstable dark sphere, damage over time by 40% and duration by 40%. Again, this is a DOT build. And look at that, the detonation damage is 1850. The recharge speed is very, it's very long, but still it works. The detonation radius is 7 meters. Damage over time is 625 over 9 seconds, guys, so it's really good. So let's go into Dark Channel as well. Dark Channel, you're definitely going to want it. On rank 4, you're going to go for damage. Rank 5, you're going to go for slow to at least have, you don't need recharge speed. Go for slow, at least you have something that'll make the enemies go a little slower. Do some kind of debuff on them. So rank 6, go for pierce. This is very important. Damage to armors and armor and barriers by 75%. And again, damage per second, 138.75. Duration 30 seconds. Again, DOT. Then for Ancient, which is his passives, go for weapon damage. This is a weapons build. You wanna use a weapon and punch the enemy in the face. Power damage on rank 5. And rank 6, Collector Prothean weapon damage. You want this because guess what, guys? We're gonna be using a Prothean weapon. All right, and for Ancient Warrior, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Ascension damage. It's not even worth it. That 5% bonus, it's lame. Alright, guys, I just go for durability, all the ones at the bottom. Let's go to gameplay. I want to talk a little bit more about his weapons and how to use this guy this way. So for this game, this game and also the one with the Krogan gameplay, I'm taking off the missile off the back of the character, guys. I just have to say it because for some reason I got comments on the previous video that I did with the Krogan that I took, they were wondering what happened to my missile launcher. I would think that most people by now know about, that you can actually take off the missile launcher off the character, and it looks really ridiculous on the Krogans and characters like this. So I just had to take it off. So in case you guys are wondering or asking about that, well, that's what's up. So now, we're going into the gameplay a little bit, and as you can see, I am playing the character a specific way. You notice that I do not have swarmers. I am not detonating with swarmers. I'm doing something a little different. Okay, and before I go into what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the gear bonuses that you may want to use. In this situation, what I am using is the Combatives Upgrade. The reason I am using the Combatives Upgrade is because it gives me 12% damage for the assault rifle, which I am using the collector, the Prothean particle rifle, and also plus 12% pistol damage, because in this situation, I am, especially since I'm playing on platinum, I'm going with particle rifle, and I'm also going with either an Acolyte or the Scorpion, pistols that I really care about, the Executioner pistol, whatever pistol you want to use. So you definitely want, if you're playing platinum, you definitely want a secondary for this kind of build. So like that, if you're working against phantoms and you don't want to use your particle rifle, that's fine. But even with this build, you don't really need it. If you just want to have just a particle rifle, you're totally fine. As you will see in this gameplay, I actually detonate Dark Sphere on phantoms and kill them. So you would notice that Dark Sphere, I'm using it kind of like the way some people use the recon mine with the Volus Adept or with the Drill Infiltrator, that they're constantly spamming it and detonating it. That's the way I am using Dark Sphere. Now, Some of the other things that you may want to use are incendiary rounds, like that you have damage over time. Again, this is a DOT build, so like that you have DOT means damage over time. All right. So the way you're gonna want to play with this guy, okay? Number one, cast Dark Sphere. When you see it getting well, cast Dark Sphere first, then immediately cast Dark Channel. And once you see the Dark Sphere get to the enemy, you detonate Dark Sphere. Okay, that's pretty much what I'm doing, and I'm using incendiary rounds on my particle rifle to ensure that I have 3 stacks of damage over time. I have the Dark Sphere damage over time. I have the Dark Channel damage over time. And at the same time, I have the incendiary rounds damage over time. So all this damage over time is just really just decimating enemies, as you can see in this gameplay. And yes, I know, some of you guys are wondering, well, this is interesting. This is very different from what I'm used to, what I've seen before. Because a lot of people, especially myself, I was thinking, man, this would be great to use them as an adept, the way that, the way we normally spec adepts and have a powers build. And yes, I will do that. I have played like that before. But I noticed one thing, that doing an adept like a powers build, since this guy has a little bit of a recharge speed problem. He's not as fast as the other adepts. It's very hard for him to keep up with the other adepts. Like, the other adepts will constantly be killing way before this guy. So you kind of want to set him up in a way that you do get the bonuses of him being an adept, and because he's just so powerful. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you have some kind of weapon damage bonus and all. But as you notice here, I'm not really focused on weapon damage all the time. I'm literally using my Dark Sphere, detonating on enemies and destroying them. And that, by the way, when you detonate the Dark Sphere, that damage over time does not go away. What it does, you are causing an explosion, which does a lot of damage, guys. And it does 1,850 with this build, so it's a lot of damage. Okay, but the damage over time, that 625 over 9 seconds, continues to happen. It does not go away. And at the same time, you have Dark Channel working for you. So, Dark Channel, Dark Sphere, incendiary rounds, damage over time, literally just destroying and decimating enemies. This is the way I pretty much enjoy playing it. And by the way, my buddy Biggs was the one who actually helped me out with this build, because I was thinking of a different build for this guy, but a DOT build made a lot of sense for me, due to the fact that, hey, if he's not gonna have Seeker Swarms to be able to detonate and do kind of like a biotic explosion kind of situation, then we want to make sure that he has, number one, a lot of damage over time, so that when he's using his weapon, whatever it may be, whether you're using the Harrier or whatever weapon you're using, you could still do a lot of damage. Now let's go over some of the weapons that you can use. Mind you, I'm using the particle rifle. Okay, I do like it, and we do get a bonus for it. So the particle rifle actually works well for me, for this kind of character and this kind of build. You can also use the Cerberus Harrier. You can also use weapons like the Lancer. The Lancer is actually really decent with him, and I finally got the Lancer, guys. I don't know what happened in my pack opening that I just did not get a Lancer. I was like, what's going on? So I finally got the Lancer. I only got it to level 1. So I'm gonna have to really just take out time to do a few speed runs, and also just play the game, pretty much just play, because I haven't been playing as much because of everything that's happened this week. But just to get the Lancer a little upgraded and get you guys going. The synthetic rifle is decent, guys. The weapon weight is a little high, but it's still pretty decent. You can work with it, but I in all honesty, if I were you guys, I would go for something like the Harrier or the particle rifle. Okay, you could also use other assault rifle, like the collector rifle is fine. I mean, you could do something like that, but the collector rifle is better for lower difficulties. Right now we're playing platinum, but if you're gonna use the collector rifle with this guy, you're gonna want to go use it only on like gold, silver, and bronze. You're not gonna want to use it on platinum, only because even though the collector rifle is okay, it's just not that powerful, not that great, with this guy. An assault rifle like the Falcon is fine as well, but I really don't recommend it. I recommend weapons like the particle rifle, the Harrier, the Lancer, and the synthetic rifle, like I was telling you guys before. You can also use weapons like the Valkyrie as well. A lot of people are not liking the Valkyrie overall, but I actually do like the Valkyrie. I only have it to level 8, and I know it's a promotional weapon, so not everybody can get it. But you can use weapons like that on this guy when it comes to the assault rifles. The sniper rifles that you can definitely use on this guy, all right, what I would recommend with him are only the Indra. Pretty much the Indra, the Incisor. If you don't have anything else, I mean, if you really don't have the Indra, you can use the Incisor. But I steer away from it. The Incisor for characters like this is just not really it's just not really that great. And in all honesty, that's about it when it comes to the sniper rifle, except for maybe the collector sniper rifle. Now, when you use the collector sniper rifle, you have to use incendiary rounds. You cannot go with anything else but incendiary rounds just to do damage over time, because it's just such a low clip size. It takes so long. I mean, it you really, especially on platinum, it really just takes quite a bit to kill enemies. So you're definitely depending on his powers to do a lot of damage over time, and then finish him off with the weapon. But the collector sniper rifle, I will stick to it for gold maybe with this kind of build, and for silver and bronze is fine. All these builds, by the way, guys, that I show you are very viable, extremely viable in platinum, but totally viable on gold, silver, and bronze. So if you're a silver player, all these builds will work for you. There's like nothing that I've shown you guys that won't work for you in silver or bronze. If you're a gold player, these builds will absolutely work for you there as well. The only thing is that there are weapons that, like for example, the collector sniper rifle, that are okay for platinum, but they're better off being used in difficulties like gold or silver. Or even lower difficulties. Okay. Now, shotguns. If you guys actually want to go with shotguns with him, he's actually really decent with the Geth Plasma. That's good. Like that. Matter of fact, if you go with the Geth Plasma, then you pretty much don't need a lot of pretty much anything else. Especially if you're playing gold. If you're playing against Cerberus, you can stagger Phantoms, and you have the DOT happening. And by the way, you can kill Phantoms as long as you're really working them, and you use your Dark Sphere and using the Geth Plasma Shotgun to stun them, and Dark Sphere to just detonate on them, you'll be killing Phantoms in no time. I mean, right here, I'm killing Phantoms on Platinum and doing this and killing enemies by detonating Dark Sphere, but on Gold and Silver and lower difficulties, you'll be pretty much destroying the game. Alright, the Wraith is good with him. The Raider is decent with him as well. The Growl Spike Thrower is good because the Growl Spike Thrower also has a damage overtime kind of situation, right? Because when the Growl Spike Thrower shoots kind of like it doesn't shoot like any other weapon, and what it does is when it actually shoots the enemy, it has a bleed effect. So I don't have the exact details on how much of the bleed effect, how much damage it does over time. But again, it's a really good gun for a character like this as well. The Eviscerate is decent. I would say, keep the Eviscerated down on lower difficulties like silver. Not necessarily gold. The Disciple's decent for him as well. I would stick, again, gold, silver, bronze. For platinum, you probably want to go. You probably don't want to use the Disciple as much. The Crusader's okay as well. You still have a lower recharge speed. What you may want to do is, if you want to use the Crusader, use the new gear bonus that makes your shotgun a little lighter. So now they have light materials for shotguns, which is really, really good. Okay, the Claymores. Listen, the Claymore goes with everything. I love the Claymore. You guys have seen a lot of Claymore gameplay. I consider myself a really, really good Claymore player, and you guys are gonna see some more gameplay on me with the Claymore. But I would not, you could use it on this guy, that's fine, but you want to, if you use a heavier weapon like this, that your recharge speed is like 20, plus 20%, you're going to want to use a power recharge module, because you do want to cast your Dark Sphere quite a bit, so you want to go with lighter weapons, alright? The Regal Carbine works very good with him. Now, the only thing about the Regal Carbine is that you have to get up close and personal with the enemies, and that is fine for a character like this on gold and silver, but on platinum, you kind of want to have a little bit of distance, although I do get up close and personal here and there in platinum with this guy. But you're gonna want to have some kind of distance. That's why I prefer the particle rifle on him. But the Regal Carbine will work very, very well. And again, incendiary rounds, damage over time, with everything else that he has on him, does a great job. The Piranha is very good, guys. The Venom Shotgun, I'm really loving that gun, and I feel that like I need to show some gameplay with it. I'm gonna be doing some gameplay soon. It's really really good, and I really enjoy it. So those kind of guns really work. If you're looking also at SMGs, I would definitely stick with the Hurricane. All right, if you're doing kind of like a more of a powers build, you want to go with like an Acolyte and then a SMG. Definitely go with the Hurricane, the Tempest, the Locust. The Geth Plasma, stay away from it, guys. The Collector SMG is okay, and you do get a little bit of a damage bonus, but again, you really need like incendiary rounds or warp rounds, especially to make it decent. The Collector SMG, I'm not a big fan of it with this guy. I love the Collector SMG. But with this guy, I'm not a big fan of it because the clip size is so tiny with him. He does get a damage bonus, but it's just pretty much for cleaning up. That's the way I would use that. The Bloodpact Punisher, though, that's a whole different story. And if I using the Bloodpact Punisher on him, I would definitely use the SMG Power Magnifier that increases your. I have it up to 5 and increases the power damage by 30%. So if you have that, you get also power damage increase, guys. That's the way I would go. If I'm going with pistols, Acolyte. Definitely want to go with Acolyte or with something like the Executioner Pistol. You can also use the Eagle. It all depends on what level you have it, and where. It's all up to you guys. But a weapons build like this, guys, you could use pretty much almost any pistol, like the Paladin. Don't touch the Predator, but a gun like the Scorpion would be really great with him because if you again incendiary rounds damage over time, you're shooting the Scorpion. You have your Scorpion, proc the little mines, the Scorpion mine balls that it shoots out, whatever you want to call it. Does a lot of damage, and you can destroy phantoms with it. That's what I enjoy. A weapon like the Arc Pistol as well works also well with him, and the Talent as well. But you guys already know that. Other weapons like the Phalanx is okay, but lower difficulties. Okay, when you're going to Platinum, you're going to Gold. These are the weapons that you're going to want, guys. So I just warning you guys now, letting you guys know that that's the way you're going to want to go. So as you can see, guys, with this kind of build, this weapons build, you can actually do quite a bit of damage. And the Dark Channel damage, by the way, guys, damage per second is 161.25, and then it lasts for 30 seconds. So this is why you want to make sure that you're always casting Dark Sphere first, immediately cast Dark Channel, and then detonate Dark Sphere. And after that, you're shooting at the enemy. Just shoot, and do your thing. Now, you guys have noticed that I'm really not using my stance. I don't really care much for his Ancient Warrior Ascension stance. He only gets a damage bonus, a 5% damage bonus, and it really, he gets, actually, if you pick rank 6 and rank 4 put together, he actually gets about 15% damage bonus, but it's not worth it. He takes so much damage at that moment that okay, first of all, it takes really long. He does his little stance, it looks really cool, but it takes way too long. He just really, but by the time you're doing your stance, you have a Phantom kind of like pretty much stabbing you up the rear end, guys. I'm sorry. That's pretty much what the Phantom is going to do. She's going to dance on you. She's going to do the cucaracha, and she's going to just pretty much laugh at you, probably send you an E-card and tell you to go home, and just that's it. So I definitely do not recommend that. So I really am not a fan of the Ascension stance until they buff it, until they change it. I do not recommend to play like that at all, in all honesty. And the other thing is, guys, he's got a dodge. He's got a really decent dodge. If I were you, I would definitely be using that dodge as much as possible. It's kind of like the Turian dodge, where, well, he's got his little wings on the back. He's like a little butterfly, right? You could go on and on with jokes about this guy being a little butterfly, but regardless of that, you could definitely use his dodge as much as you can. Now, I'm pretty sure there probably is some kind of there probably is some kind of bonus that you may get out of that dodge, but I don't know the details. Now, the other thing is that I believe, in regards to his powers, by the way, and a little bit of what's going on with him, that he may actually get a buff. Now, you guys didn't know this, but every Tuesday there is a balance update for this game. Okay, every Tuesday or Wednesday they do balance changes, balance updates, and that's why sometimes you guys are like, whoa, like all of a sudden the game seems different on Wednesday or Tuesday, and all of a sudden the weapons are whatever. They act a little different. So I think that sooner or later, after a lot of the complaints about this guy, that there's probably going to be a buff on him. I don't think that he needs a buff on his powers. I just think that he needs a little bit of a better recharge speed on his powers because they take really really long. For example, his Ascension stance. I don't think that it should be a heavy melee. I think that, or even if it is a heavy melee, that I don't think it should take that long. I mean, he takes forever. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I really do believe that in one of these Tuesdays, he probably will get some kind of buff, some kind of change now. So guys, yeah, this gameplay was a lot of fun. I think it was really cool, and this is one of the few, one of the different builds that I will be working with you guys. And as you can see, just having a lot of fun with Dark Sphere and doing a damage over time build, and it works. It definitely works, and it took me a little bit to work this guy out, guys, because I was trying to work him one way, and that was okay. But then after doing this and going through this build and kind of working him out this way and playing with him a little bit, I think this is a great build, and really had a lot of fun. I really have not checked out anybody else to see if there's anything similar out there, but so far this build works for me. And the damage over time that it does is absolutely insane and ridiculous for this guy. So I definitely recommend it, and I think that you guys should definitely use a build like this, which is a damage over time build. Now, I do have a few of the videos coming up, guys, and they're pretty much, I already did them. I already did the gameplay. I'm editing them tonight, or by the time you guys see this, I'm already uploading. So I have to, I pretty much have almost every other character, and that I already did the builds for. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys the engineer build. I had a little bit of difficulty with him with his arrows, so I will tell you that ahead of time. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have had the same issue. And I did see an article or a posting online in regards to how to make his arrows better, how to do that. But I think you guys are not going to be surprised, but I think you guys may actually be interested in knowing that build. So I'm going to be posting it up pretty much closer to like right away. And also the Alliance Infiltrator, I noticed her build was actually pretty simple. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already got an idea of how to use her. She's very easy, and I have to tell you now that it seems like in the next balance update that they may do a nerf on her. I was hoping that they wouldn't, but I don't think that they're gonna nerf her powers, her capability. I think they're gonna work on nerfing her matrix capability. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do with it, but maybe the amount of time it lasts, that's what may be nerfed. I really don't know, but from what I've heard and from what I'm seeing with that character, that's probably what's gonna happen. So the Alliance Infiltrator is coming right up. So is the so is the engineer, and now you have the Collector Adept, guys. So those are all coming up pretty much right back to back, so definitely expected. The other thing is, guys, that if you have any challenges, please go right ahead, please put them. I am going to start working on those this week, and also I have the Spanish video coming up. You guys are going to be like, what? I got the Spanish video coming up. I got the PS3 players that I'm hanging out with, and we're going to be doing a lot of that. Now, on this gameplay, guys, I don't even know what happened here. For some reason, you notice I got 5 gels, things are going smooth, having fun, and then for some reason Extraction got nasty, and look at this, I just started dying. I don't even know what's it just got dropped. This is crazy. So I don't know what was going on, but the Extraction actually got a little insane, and but yeah, and whatever, it is what it is. The other thing is, guys, that look, for a lot of you guys who have been wanting to game with me, I've been responding to as many of you guys as possible, and you guys get surprised that I do get to actually respond, but I do care. I do care to play with you guys. The other thing is that, if you noticed, even here I have I do play with subs. Even here I have Paella, who's a subscriber who I gamed with before, a long time ago, but he pretty much just popped up. And there are times, guys, that I am going through the list of people who send me messages, and I do look for you guys, but sometimes you guys are not online when I'm online. So, apologize about that. I'll do my best to get some more gameplay with you guys as well. So like that, I think it's more challenging, playing with somebody new, because you don't know their play style, you don't know what happens, and you don't know how they're gonna play, you don't know what's gonna happen. So far, this guy Paella did really well. We played quite a few games together, and here, look at this. It's just, I don't know what happened in this extraction. It got so nasty. Look at this. It was crazy. Like, it was just out of control. Like, look at this. I'm all over the place. But I mean, it went fine. But I don't know. This extraction was a little crazy, guys. But that's the Collector Adept Weapons DOT build. Another one will come, guys. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. I hope you enjoy the video, and on to the next one. See you guys later. Invader 1 out.